I'll clean mine. How about that? I'll wash it.
Okay, then I need it like now. So go clean it.
Well, see, here's the thing. I've already been drinking, so I probably shouldn't go anywhere. Please don't make me spit out my my highly alcoholic drink. Excellent.
So this is the CAMCast, episode number 275. Somehow, some way we made it to this point, and we're celebrating by having Gavin back on and somewhat recurring guest AJ, because he's available and we love him for it.
He has nothing better to do on a Monday night.
Yes. They pulled me off the third string bench.
Yeah.
I'm out there with my oversized helmet and the water cup. Just, I get to play.
We called up to the bullpen and we asked for a righty, and well, we got AJ. So it's it is what it is. But
AJ, don't feel too bad. This is basically my existence.
But as always, there is Zack there in the corner, always enjoying himself way more than he should. But that's life. You should be enjoying life.
I'm not even drunk.
Get on my level, son.
Yeah, you start chugging the Malibu.
Warm Malibu, because it's the only alcohol I have in my house.
Yeah,
I want all of my coworkers to know that I drink on a Monday night. This is me.
Chris Miller would like to remind us that it's 25 weeks until we know Zach's dad.
Oh, God, so bad.
Is this a new joke?
Yes. So
I've been out of the loop for some time now, by the way, for everyone that's watching / listening.
So the 300th episode, we are holding a court case in all potential fathers. We've narrowed it down to Zack Turnage. If Nick can hop in, I'd be there with Nicholas Trapatsky. Who else is going to be part of that? Dave, Mike, Brandon, Trent. Are you fighting for fathership?
Oh no! I'm stepping.
Is
I'm
anyone
out of this.
fighting? I don't think anyone's fighting. Zach.
No. Zack Turnage is. He is desperate.
He probably is. Then honestly, he probably named you after himself.
Dude, no, it was great. Dave was giving me some shit on an episode, and Zack was like, "Stop right now! He's my son." Oh, it was great.
I love Zack.
Since
not you, the other one.
Since Trent isn't fighting for Zach's custody, can we get him like a judge outfit with the collar, and we'll get him a gavel like Judge Wapner?
Mike, I thought was presiding over you could be the bailiff.
We need the wig. You need the judge hair.
He needs the
I
judge
will buy
hair.
a wig for whoever.
Mike can be the bailiff.
Yeah,
because the bailiff.
Mike has the authority. He can steer this ship somehow. Like, we're so far off the rails already. So
Yeah.
I mean, like I said the intro, and I didn't even get to everybody. My name's Trent, by the way.
Hi, Trent.
Oh yeah. Mike is watching now. Now I gotta keep it on the straight and narrow. So you can find this wonderful podcast on all the social medias. Keep up with us throughout the week at CAMautoSwag on Instagram, on Twitter when Mike is watching racing, and it's quite a good time to watch him on Twitter because he just gets angry and tweets about it. And you know what? We've determined in the past episodes, Mike being angry is kind of hilarious. No offense, Mike, but it's quite a good time. We're also CAMautoSwag on Facebook, and you may be watching this live right now on YouTube, also CAMautoSwag there. And you can watch the podcast if you are a patron live every week. We do once a month where we put it out to the public. That is one of those episodes, or one of these episodes right now. But make sure to subscribe to the podcast on YouTube, on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. We're there, and you can find us. And you can also find our sweet, sweet merch with Gavin's face on it, and my face on it, and Mike's face on it, and Dave's face on it. The Mount Cammore. Very fitting to get that right now, because apparently I need to go find a drunk Gavin and grab a t-shirt from him so I can wear it in front of Mount Rushmore.
If you don't, I will be really upset.
It's got to happen. Like, it just has to.
You guys need to make an updated Mount Canmore shirt with all of your luscious beards.
I just shaved mine.
Yeah, I was gonna say Zack looks baby face over there. Hey, there's Gavin. He's got some scruff going on.
Hey, neck beard live.
Neck beard needs to fucking go. Actually, I had a thought today where, like, if I put on a mask, if you put on like just one of the common face masks, the mask cut is going to be the new bowl cut of 2020.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes, I could do. Yeah, that's possible. Yeah.
Yeah. When I put a mask on, you can see still like, a good amount of beard.
I got puppers.
So put the mask on and then just take the buzzer.
Yeah.
No.
And just buzz right along. There you go.
Not gonna do it.
Guys, I got puppers.
Yeah, you do. They're adorable. My 7-year-old has one with puppers on it too, but she actually has a dog service business where she cleans up dog poop and washes dogs and all that. So
very fitting.
Industrious.
Yeah. A couple of weeks in, she's like got like $300-$400. Like she's
killing it.
I do. Yeah, more than I
killing
have
it
right
for
now.
a 7-year-old.
Yeah.
Mike says to slap some Rogaine on your cheeks there, Gavin.
Yeah, so this is au natural. I'm more of an au natural guy.
No V12 in there.
Oh, see, you've got the gap like I do.
Oh, I get so bad right here.
Yeah, like right there.
Yeah, I've got the gap on either side right there.
Yeah,
I get it right here, right up by the lip, so it doesn't connect.
Mine is starting to connect. I'm 27 and I'm starting to grow facial hair now.
Well, you have a better mustache than I do for sure.
Really?
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, I'll take the compliment. Thank you.
So, as I was saying, the Mount Canmore shirt, you can find that at CAMautoSwag.com. And if that isn't enough for you, you go over to Steady Broke. This is a command. This is not a request. Go to SteadyBroke.com. Type in the coupon code CAMAuto15 for 15% off all of their swag. They are revamping. Like, they are totally redoing their whole thing. I've seen it. I like it. It's a different direction, but it's still good. So if you want any of the current swag, get it now because it's going to change here shortly. SteadyBroke.com. Just because you're broke doesn't mean you can't live your dreams. And CAMAutoSwag.com for that sexy hat that AJ was showing off there on the live stream. And there's Gavin. Yeah, he's got it too. Oh, hey, man, I am the only one without a cam hat on right now.
Trent, we can hold the ship if you need to go find yours.
I know exactly where it is, but I don't think I dare give you guys the ship.
What's next? What did we just do? I can do this.
No.
Twitch Tuesday? Okay, so every Tuesday, I don't know if we're going to do it this Tuesday. Mike is out, but normally every Tuesday. I don't
think we're doing it this Tuesday.
Most Tuesdays, and there was some talk about switching to Thursday. Michael Chandler does a Twitch Tuesday where he streams car-related games. You're going to go get your hat? I'm holding this for you. Every Tuesday. I know they're doing Forza. They're doing the Rocket League, other games. I don't know if Gavin's
so there's Forza Horizon that they do, and then there's also Motorsport that they also do. And with Motorsport, they tend to do spec racing.
Yeah.
So when I was on last, we did spec Civics, I guess, and we did like early 90s Civics with suspension, tires, whatever. And I don't know how, but I kept on drinking and I kept on trouncing everybody. I must have been like in the zone that day. It was my day. I don't know what happened. But anyways,
liquid skill going on.
Yeah, liquid confidence, liquid skill. I don't know what to call it exactly, but highly recommended. Highly recommend everybody go.
It's a great time. The chat's always a blast.
Yeah, spicy in the chat.
People are always having fun.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. We got to do the photo.
Hey, Trent's back.
Represent.
Look at that. It's like we're all one happy family. It's like we're in a theme park. You know how Grandma buys all the shirts that says the family name on it, so you don't get lost.
Yeah,
right, so how many
one happy unstable family?
How many lawsuits am I going to be involved in while I was gone?
3.
So we're the happy family at the theme park, but Trent's the dad just trying to get out. You know, he's got one eye on the exit gate at all times. Zach's the little kid, always can't let go of the tickets. Gavin's the angsty teenage son that doesn't want to be part of the family, but he's cool that he's invited.
I just got back from college. I'm like on spring break.
And I'm the kid
out.
from down the block that just keeps showing up and you can't get rid of me.
Basically adopted you.
I know this family. Like,
well,
yes.
Did we do things this weekend?
I did.
Let's hear about it.
So I conducted a social experiment that ended up failing, but I
you tried to get a date.
Yikes. No, I did not. No, I ended up going on a drive with a number of 911s, actually, and they ended up being white, red, white,
Saw that.
red. What's fun? So I ended up inviting a bunch of supercar people that I know. Most of them didn't even respond or anything. But I had my buddy Ray with his white GT3, his white 991 GT3. He showed up. Another friend whose name is Ryan, he showed up with his new to him 997.2 Turbo S. In what red is it? It's
Guards red, Carmine red.
It's not Carmine red. It is Guards red. But in my mind, I kept on thinking Carmine, but no. Guards red on black, gorgeous car. And then a friend of mine who also is really into, like, he owns a bunch of supercars. He ended up slumming it in his 11,000 mile 997 Carrera S. And then there was an R8, a V8 manual R8 that showed up, and then I ended up riding in a friend's 996 Aero kit. And this is the same friend who actually drove his 964 that I wrote the article on for Cam, actually, a couple of years ago. So, yeah, he has a Guards Red 996 Aero kit with like 50,000 miles on it. It's cherry. It's the best. I ended up driving it for a little bit. And, yeah, we drove not Mount Nebo. We drove Monte Cristo that led us into Evanston. And then we took Mirror Lake Highway back into Camas. And that was just an amazing drive. Everybody loved it. Everybody had a blast. And then I ended up taking my buddy Nate. We ended up doing a little road that's kind of by my house or by my apartment. That's a little fun, engaging driving road. And I drove his car, his Aero kit, and he drove the Fiesta. Ooh. And he actually thoroughly enjoyed it. He's like, yeah, no, I totally get it. Like, this is actually a lot of fun. So, and I also realized this is the first CAMcast I'm on since I've had the new car. So people can possibly hear me talk about it and keep on talking about it because I can't stop.
Having driven it, it's worth talking about. I'm not going to lie.
That's right. Yeah, you had to go in it, AJ.
I did, and it was oodles of fun.
I recently also drove a Fiesta ST like Saturday. And
cool.
I forgot. I've driven them in the past, but I forgot how much fun they are. But they're also kind of quirky too in like fun ways.
So give me the rundown of like the spec of like what color, seat combination.
Black Recaros, wing riser.
Recaros are where it's at.
Yeah, some kind of Sparco wheel. I don't know what wheels they are. I don't know wheels very well. And rally armor mud flaps. So you're kind of your standard build. No, not yet. I'm trying to convince him to do a downpipe.
So what he needs to do is get the MBRP cat back because that's what I have on mine. Ooh. And it is just loud enough where you're definitely kind of noticed, but you're not obnoxious. Yeah. AJ can attest to this because he drove it on the freeway a little bit. There's some drone, but you can just put a
fine.
Yeah, and you can put a resonator in it and it'll just kill it. And I'm really thinking about doing that actually. But aside from that, it's the perfect exhaust. I'm not going to go back to stock at all. It's perfect.
But I forgot to I'm used to like the Fiesta ST is basically the same speed as my Subaru, my flat six Subaru. It's a little bit faster on a highway pole versus my car. I just don't have the gearing for highway pole, but I can pull out a hole pretty good. But there's so little fanfare with speed in that car. It's kind of impressive. Like my Subaru, if you're doing 60 on a 40, you know you're doing 60 on a 40 because everything's loud, everything's shaking. But it's a well put together car, and I forgot how little boost it gives you in first gear on a stock tune. Like you come out of a hole and it's just like second. Whoa!
There is some of that.
Yeah.
There is some of that. It kind of just gets it done, which is a characteristic that I've noticed in more modern Porsches as far as handling is concerned. And that might be kind of why I like it. It just gets it done. I'm on 5-year-old kind of, I think it's the originals that it came on. They're just some Bridgestone Potenzas. They're all seasons that are fine. They actually can get a lot done. There's the on-ramp. It's kind of an on-ramp. It's the spaghetti bowl where I-80 and I-15 meet up. Yeah. If I'm going west on I-80 and take the north corner, I can take that at 90, 95, and it's just does it. It just gets it done. Yeah, and so when these wear out, I'm going to when these tires wear out, I'm going to throw some winters on there, and that'll be the designated winter setup. And then next year, I'm actually going to get some other wheels that I need to decide on. But then I'm going to get some Indy 500 Firehawks from Firestone, and that's going to be it. Like that's all the car needs, because it has a ton of mechanical grip anyway. The setup out of the box is perfect. I'm on stock suspension, and I've never really felt like I need coilovers.
And really. like on the same note too, like the torque. I know we're going to talk about the Fiesta ST while we're still doing the intro, but the torque steer isn't unmanageable coming out. Like it's there. You can definitely know it's there.
Yeah, if you're really in it and if you're really asking for it, it'll give it to you. But it's not like any SRT4s or anything where it's just like, oh my god, it's not like that at all.
My example of a bad one was a Stage 3 Mazda 3 or Speed 3, sorry, where it's 3 lanes over if you're not prepared for it. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
But
so speaking of tailpipes, Trent, tell me about this EPA thing with the.
Hold on, I haven't talked about my weekend yet. What the fuck? I had a funny anecdote for this weekend.
Trent, tell me about this EPA testing jets now. Yeah. What's going on with this?
I had something funny and anecdotal.
Well, you took that time with your Fiesta ST thing.
And that was Gavin's fault. Fuck Gavin.
No, Gavin, you're welcome here. So anyway, EPA thinks
just bulldoze past me.
Yes, we're just going to keep powering through.
Go ahead, Trent.
Okay, Zach, you've earned it.
Keep walking, Trent. We're almost there.
So my
keep walking, Trent.
So, right. Can you imagine hooking up a tailpipe to a jet engine? So apparently the EPA wants to do that. Commercial airlines, they have been given a pass because they're, ferrying 100+ people wherever they're going. But you know what? There are a lot of planes flying pre-COVID, at least, that, a lot of routes have gone away nowadays. But they're thinking that they want to cut out the carbon emissions in half by 2050 by declaring emissions regulations for aircraft, which I don't know exactly how they're going to do that. I feel like it's going to be like the trucking industry where they have like a ridiculous amount of loopholes that it really doesn't matter. But maybe Chirp can chime in since he's a Boeing.
I'm honestly for that because airline industry and the cruise industry and the mass transportation of goods around the world industry are actually really the biggest proponents in climate change. Honestly,
shipping specifically, shipping has no regulations at all. They just dump oil into the ocean. If you're in international waters, you can.
Hey, if we're only talking about emissions, even it's still one of the largest contributors to climate change and O2 output.
Here's the thing that's crazy about that. Oh, sorry, Zach.
Oh, I saw a thing a couple of years ago, which I haven't done research. I don't know the validity of this, but a single flight from LA to London, New York to London, is the equivalent emissions as a full season of F1 racing.
Crazy. That's insane. Yeah, but it's true though. I've heard the same thing.
I mean, the thing with that is the jet engines that they use on commercial aircraft are already super efficient. Like they have a lot of output, but you also have a lot. It's coming out of a large engine. Like the engines themselves are actually one of the most efficient uses of energy.
It could be because you want to burn as much fuel as possible to save as much fuel as possible because the more power you can make.
Well, and with those turbofans, the actual jet burning part is so small. It's this little tube in the center. Most of the propulsion comes from the giant fan up front.
Yeah.
Like, they're actually super efficient. They're getting more and more efficient every day. So I don't know why they're going after the airline company.
They can control it. Like the shipping industry, like, try going after them. Like, they're just gonna ignore you and keep going. But
if you're like, we're in international waters, go fuck yourself. Basically, is what they're gonna say.
Pretty much. Yeah. Whereas the airlines, they at least have somebody to report to in a country, and so they can go after them.
Are we going to? Is this also going to downplay chemtrails as well too? Everyone get less chemtrails from this?
Oh God.
Yes, the catalytic converters they stick on there, and the APC exhaust tips, that they stick on the back, will.
Now we're gonna have dudes running into SLC to cut the cats off of 747s now.
Dude, I'm okay with that.
They're gonna go to crank their 747. It's gonna be hella loud.
It's be cammed
out of one side, and it's like, the fuck is this?
They're just gonna register their shit in Tooele County or Summit County. Tooele County, probably.
Yeah,
dude,
Hawaiian Airlines won't have to do emissions testing because they're an emission-free state. So.
Yeah. So our man Chirp, who is knows this sort of stuff,
angrily writing.
Yes, he says that general aviation and smaller are extremely dirty in terms of emissions.
Oh yeah. So my grandfather flies small planes as a hobby, and it's literally headers and then exit. There's no muffling because you don't need muffling in the air, but there's no anything. And most of those planes, if you buy a I think it's 98 or something like that engine, it's still leaded fuel as well too.
Wow.
Yeah, so
I didn't know that.
My grandfather has to, in his couple of his planes, Chirp might correct me there, but my grandfather has to basically mix leaded fuel to run. Wow. And 91 avgas, I believe, is also leaded from the pump. But Chirp can correct me on that if he knows more than I do.
He probably
didn't know that
in multiple fields, but yes.
Yeah. So speaking of emissions, though, turns out FCA may be cheating on their emissions.
What?
What?
No way.
FCA cheating on something? I would have never thought.
Exactly my reaction too.
I want to imagine the boardroom meeting where when Dieselgate happened, and they're like, oh, we need to be careful.
They better not find out about this thing.
Yeah.
Can we bury this a little deeper? But yeah, so there's engines. German prosecutors are looking into this. There's engines used in Fiat, Alfa Romeo, Jeep vehicles, as well as Iveco trucks, even a 1.3 liter and 1.6 liter that apparently have a potentially illegal emissions software installed on it. Not guilty until proven so, but really, this is not the first time this has happened with FCA in particular. So
I like the idea that it's just basically an ECU tune to tell it not to throw codes.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that exactly what Volkswagen did?
Yeah. Volkswagen knew when basically, they told the software, when you're on a dyno, run this. When you're not on a dyno, run this. Mm. And so,
but this is with gas cars. It's not with diesel cars.
I can't help but wonder if Volkswagen was like trying to take some of the heat off of them and was like, "Hey, FCA, we'll give you an engine tune that'll like lower your standards for emissions testing." And they're like, "Really?" And they're like, "Yeah, we'll give it to you under the table." And then Volkswagen's like, "Oh, hey, look what FCA is doing over there."
Granted, I mean, the Dieselgate started happening 4 years ago?
Yeah. But
I think it was longer than that. But
wasn't it 2016 or maybe 2015?
I know it was 2015 model year cars.
So I don't think they found out about it till 2016, though.
Yeah, that's when the shit started happening. Because you could get a Mark 7 TDI, which is, I guess, the model year 2015. You can still get those.
Yeah. So Dieselgate officially began in September 2015.
Oh, okay. So that makes sense then, because model year 2015 would be before that.
Here's the thing, though, is they're putting it says they put it on their 1.3 and 1.6 liter engines, which are fucking tiny. So why do they need the help with the miles per gallon anyway? Because
I bet manufacturing cost. I bet it saves if they can put less cats, less whatever in the car.
Well, because of a 1.6 car can only get 27 or 25 miles per gallon if it's running quote unquote dirty. Then they're like, well, shit, like that's a tiny motor not getting that great at MPG. That needs to get in the 30s. So then they'd run that software.
Yeah, so it basically it was used to switch off the exhaust emissions filtering while driving on the road. So basically, they have a way to recapture the exhaust gas. Thank you, Gavin. And then, totally threw that off. Check the chat for those that didn't see that. So when it was in the lab, it switched off the filtering, or it had the filtering on, and then when it gets to the road, it switched that off. And so real world, I mean, as Chris put in the chat, those VWs actually got better gas mileage when they were cheating than they did when they weren't cheating. So, I mean...
Has to do with emissions, though, right? Because they'd be running more Mobetta, with that cheating tune. But they'd be running weaker to then output fewer emissions with the cleaner tune.
Yeah. But this is kind of, I think, the same way with this one. It doesn't specifically state that it's that it gets better gas mileage, but it's probably the case again with that. And it's,
I guess that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
But anyway, this was used on their gas motors, but it also was used on some of the diesel motors in those Iveco trucks. And so basically FCA is kind of caught here by the German prosecutors, and we'll see what unravels if there's more engines, but so far they're targeting those. So FCA is going to lose, but we've got some winners. Don't worry. And one of those is the state of Texas. And I know a lot of people are thinking, why is Texas winning right now with Hurricane Hannah and, everything else going on in Texas?
Are they getting hurricanes right now? I've been out of... I've
another hurricane?
Blue Lives Matter and Black Lives Matter shit, so I don't fucking know.
Storm Lives Matter.
Well, no, Texas Lives Matter, apparently.
Yeah, well, yeah, they did get hit with a hurricane, but...
it might be good for me. It might be colder.
We're not talking about that specifically. We're actually talking about Tesla.
I was asking if I could guess.
Oh, that right, because good old Elon, gave the big old fuck you to California.
Yes.
Have we talked about how Tesla is a cult? Have we talked about that on the show before?
No, but I'm with you.
Not specifically. But,
okay. I've just been seeing a lot of signs of that. With the overlord Elon.
No, everyone's on Reddit right now is pissed at Elon Musk right now,
as they should be.
I can't remember what dumb shit he said, but he said something recently, and everyone's like, "Fuck Elon Musk." I wish I remember what it was.
What did he do? Because he's also done a lot of shit, and Tesla fanboys would ignore that, but then I don't know.
He said something on Twitter. I think it was something. Political that a lot of people disagreed with, and it was
Did he try and get a bunch of people to drink Kool-Aid?
He's already been doing that for ever. Did you not get the memo about that?
No, I'm still waiting on my white tracksuit and Jordans.
Shit. Yeah, no, I don't know. Just to kind of support that little mic drop that I just kind of gave, it just feels that if you talk about Tesla in any sort of way that isn't absolutely 1,000% positive and doing everything that they've ever done ever, then you're a hater.
You do have to say that's some good marketing though. Tesla's made some big fuck ups.
I mean, L. Ron Hubbard also had some pretty good marketing, don't you think?
I'm happy I know who that is. I'm not happy I know who that is.
Gavin Luke Dreyer's on his way to kick your ass right now.
Well, but here's the thing: Luke and another guy I know are the only two people that are not fanboys. They
really?
like the cars. Yeah, no, Luke isn't a Tesla fanboy where he drinks the Kool-Aid and thinks Elon does everything amazingly super, whatever. He likes his car. He also likes other cars as well. He likes his Nissans. this other friend I know, he likes his 996 turbo and he likes his van again. Like he's a Volkswagen Porsche guy. He's had a 996 Carrera that was actually on our 50 years of 911 with Everyday Driver, and that 996 was gutted out, exhaust straight pipe. That straight pipe saved like 75, 80 pounds. And he autocrossed it, and like he raced it out at Miller back when it was Miller, like all that stuff. So like there are people that drive Teslas, and honestly, a Model 3 is a fantastic daily car. If that's the thing that you need as a daily, have at it.
And they do
I can't, slight you otherwise. But to really buy into like the Cybertruck and to truly buy into what they claim the next generation Roadster can do and everything else, it just seems kind of bullshit to me.
And knowing the hype around Tesla, the Roadster doesn't meet what you said. That's fine. We'll still buy them.
No, yeah, they still like, and the true signs of it seeming like a cult or being cult-y is, completely supporting the things that somehow get pulled off, which the Model S, when it came out, was amazing. And the Model 3, granted, it took a fucking long time for them to make it, but despite the body panel gap that are on some cars, is otherwise a fantastic car. Most cars, and even the panel gap differences, they vary from car to car. It kind of depends on the build date, really.
Have you seen some of the bottom panel gaps on the Model X?
I'm sure you can fit an iPhone through it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's insane. No, I've seen some like just rolling on the freeway, and I can like in another car be like, oh yeah, I can spot your panel gap from here. But they'll write off all the other stuff to, all in the name of quote unquote saving the planet or saving the earth. But I will commend, and this is my last thing on Tesla, I will commend them for giving all of the other automotive companies a royal kick in the pants for being able to get on the EV train. Because if it wasn't for Tesla, there would not be a Chevy Bolt or a Volt or maybe even a Leaf and all of these other EVs that are out there. It
really kickstarted the industry. I bet just by the existence of Tesla, we've advanced 10 years in EV technology
or
EV
more.
Progress.
But autopilot is also bullshit, by the way. There is no such thing as such thing as autopilot. It doesn't exist, and it won't exist for a very long time.
Oh, dude, Tesla.
I've driven the Model 3. I've done the autopilot up at East Canyon. I get it. I understand that it's marketing and that.
You're in East Canyon. It was never built for canyon carving.
Oh no, it was great in East Canyon. It just isn't autopilot.
No, but some of I don't know if it's been released or not. I might not be able to talk about this on the stream, but I have been privy to some new things that the autopilot can do.
By Tesla will.
Tesla Insider, goddammit. Redact it.
Such as? Back your claim, Zach.
Stoplights, red lights, and on-ramp and off-ramp abilities.
The thing about autopilot, in a true autopilot...
That's been coming for a while.
Well, it's been deployed now in test vehicles. And it's actually
congratulations. Here's the thing about autopilot is that it has to play God in some instances.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
It's not there. It just isn't there, and it's not going to be there for probably 20, 30, 50 years.
Yeah, no, the autopilot as a true push, I'm going to go play the cards in the back seat isn't
like most Teslas or most of like the Teslas that you've seen crash were because someone put on autopilot. And like there was one guy recently, like maybe a month or so ago, where he was drunk and he got in his Tesla, turned on autopilot, and it crashed.
He shoved an orange in the steering wheel so it thinks that you're grabbing the steering wheel.
Exactly. Yeah.
Have you seen that? Here's the thing is, as sick as autopilot is, it's never going to be feasible in like a city sort of environment, just because there's too many variables. There's way too many instances where the machine has to make a decision between. It's the what is it? The trolley car paradox, where you can't stop the trolley. You can only switch tracks, and it kills like one person or it kills 5 people, something like that. Don't quote me on that. But yeah,
I will.
We've all seen the meme. We know what you're talking about.
Now, autopilot in.
I prefer dual track sliding. By the way. No one? Has anyone seen the meme?
No.
Where it it hits both tracks?
Different generation, Zach.
Oh no, I've seen the meme. It just doesn't really apply here.
it's never going to be a feasible. There's never going to be a feasible use in it within like a city setting. Now, for like mass transportation across like freeways, or
I see it being a big thing for trucking industries.
Trucking industry, or like, I mean, it works on aircraft because there's not a lot of shit to hit in the air, and I mean with altitude regulations, you really can't hit much of anything as long as you're staying at altitude. But like in a pedestrian sort of use, it's never going to be feasible, I don't think. And the only way it'll be feasible is if every single car is autonomous.
Right. With car-to-car communication and, car-to-X communication.
Good luck getting that to work.
Yeah. What they should do...
Top Gear had a great...
is build either on top of the freeway or below the freeway, dig underneath it, is have an automated only like mass transportation system where like all of the shipping happens.
Because like that's cheap and efficient.
Whoa, you're drinking the Kool-Aid, bro.
Because that's cheap and efficient.
I mean, but it takes the semis off of the truck, so there's less road maintenance. And I mean, Utah doesn't have a lot of semis.
Semis should be automated for sure.
Tennessee has a shit ton of semi-trucks, and the roads are always shite because the trucks ruin the asphalt. Mass transit, you wouldn't have to stop for buses. Shit like that. It would remove a lot of the congestion issues for civilian transportation. But that's my 2 cents.
There are also just more cars because more people have been, given driver's licenses, and fewer people have died or have been taken off of roads. So when that happens, there's just going to be more cars and more people on roads.
Mm-hmm. So as we get more cars, is that going to make older cars go up in value?
They already are. They already are. I mean,
like possibly an E30.
Dude, you skipped like 2 stories in doing so.
No,
you only missed one.
Oh no, I only missed one.
Somebody's clearly drinking the Malibu around here.
Literally, I said the headline for one story, and then that was it. And then you guys went off on Tesla.
We're talking about Tesla, and so I thought Tesla wins.
And that's the thing about Tesla. You can keep on going on and on and on and on.
Look above that one, Zach.
Texas wins.
I said the title to that one, and we went off on Tesla because
we haven't even talked about it.
Exactly.
Well, I'm just pushing the agenda today, bro.
Yeah, I mean we're 50 minutes into this, and we are on story number 3.
We won't have any racing news.
Apparently, Jack Daniels Gavin is a little more angrier than 3 beers deep Gavin because
I'm just an angry person in general. Things have happened since the last time we podcasted together, and I'm just an angry person.
Semi-trucks, where are they going to be built?
In the desert? I don't know.
Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Okay, we're gonna bring it back. You said that Tesla has given the whole kick in the pants to the automotive industry. One thing that they did do, aside from push the EVs, that is really helpful to the automotive industry is they are trying to get rid of dealer networks. But the funny thing is, Texas is now on the manufacturing plant contract for building Teslas. They're going to build the semi-truck there, the Cybertruck, the Model Y, and the Model 3 for the East Coast. But the funny thing is, right now, if you build a vehicle in Texas, it has to go out of state for you to be able to buy it in Texas because of those dealership laws. Logic.
Because I know a lot of states, I know Utah fell into this practice, which is because there's such strong dealership regulations.
Well, Utah switched. Utah is no longer part of this.
No. So Utah's regulation, from my understanding, is there is still part of the dealership network, but it's exempt for EV vehicles only.
Well,
what about Vanderhall though?
They make an electric one.
That's true.
Einstein or whatever.
No, it's called the Edison.
Edison, there you go.
Yeah, but I mean, I've seen, anecdotally, I've seen non-EV Vanderhalls running around Utah. So maybe they bought them out of state and they just brought them here, or maybe they're registered in fucking Montana. I don't know.
Well, I wonder. I wonder if they're doing some kind of weird loophole with like.
I think it was more based on manufacturing numbers or something like that, not necessarily EVs. It was just a boutique manufacturer.
The last time I read about this, it was maybe there are other clauses for boutique manufacturing that I'm unaware of. But last time I read the regulations, it said you can buy vehicles online and at a non-dealership sold through the manufacturer for EV vehicles.
So if you buy something like a Vanderhall at Harrison Imports, then that would be kosher.
Yeah, it's
because that's also not a car; it's technically a trike.
Right.
Yeah, I wonder if they're trying to do this because I know you can build ETVs or off-road vehicles like that in the state,
or UTVs and shit that,
UTVs.
non-car road legal vehicles.
And so I wonder if there's some loophole there because in the state of Utah you can drive UTVs on all public roads.
I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
it's a thing. It'd be fun.
It's only going to take one of those for somebody to get killed before that gets locked down. But
the regulation was supposed to be for small towns.
And then it was several years ago, and then
now you see dipshits in.
I mean, if
downtown.
you go to Moab right now, just driving everywhere. It's crazy.
Yep. So anyway, Texas, they won the manufacturing contract. Oklahoma was the runner-up, and they said, hold on, if we keep blowing up like we're doing, we'll open a plant there as well, possibly.
Didn't Oklahoma name a city after some Tesla thing?
If you don't know the answer, don't bring it up.
Well, no, I thought we were talking about it on the podcast, hence why I was bringing it up as I don't know,
honestly.
Of discussion.
If they did, then they're stupid. But you know what? It's Oklahoma, so we just lost all viewership in Oklahoma. Sorry, Mike. Sorry.
Do we have viewership in Oklahoma?
Probably not.
So why does Tesla win?
So they recorded
Thanks,
their. Yes, AJ, you should be running this ship. Fourth straight quarter of profits for Tesla, which is one of their requirements for induction into the S&P 500 index. And then their stock has risen 500% in the last year, partly because of this potential inclusion in the S&P 500. But if you look at their financials, this is the craziest thing to me. $428 million of pure profit by selling EV credits to other major manufacturers that can't meet those EV regulations that the government requires. So it's ridiculous.
Selling EV credits, what are those?
So I can explain this, or do you want to?
Go for it.
Want to try? So basically there are regulations for the production ratio of gas powered to low emissions and electric vehicle numbers. And
I know what you're talking about.
Because Tesla is a full electric vehicle manufacturer, they meet all their requirements. And so they can basically be like, oh, you give us money, we'll give you a piece of paper saying, here is your numbers.
That's some fucking Tom Sawyer shit right there.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's basically Al
smart
Gore's, on Tesla's part.
It's basically Al Gore's carbon tax or carbon credits. Sorry, carbon credits.
Yeah, but $428 million in one quarter to be able to have that much pure profit, and
it literally is pure
crazy.
Profit.
And the thing about Tesla, though, is that they really have not been around for a very long time. So, sure, this is a good sign, off the bat relatively, but we'll see how this carries them, right? Only the future can tell how well Tesla is going to do from here on out.
Right. Think about your car manufacturer, typical car manufacturer. What you do is you build a car, you sell it for a profit, and that's it. And then sell merch.
They haven't been doing that, though. That's the weird thing.
Right. So they're coming up with unique out-of-the-box solutions to be able to make money and make their stock keep skyrocketing.
Didn't Elon just get in trouble for insider trading like 1 or 2 years ago?
Well, he went on Twitter and was talking about their financials.
Yeah, and now they're finally in the stock market, and it's like he just got harangued for insider trading, and now he's like selling off.
Yeah, it was about a year and a half ago, I think, because it was when they went public. He started talking about like their books and all that stuff, and that's when he he's not a CEO anymore. He's not a CEO of Tesla.
He got fired. Yeah.
He got fired because of that, and now he's selling his 1-year sober chips to other car manufacturers.
Yeah.
Yep. But he just by doing this, by gaining this fourth straight quarter of profits, he unlocked a $2.1 billion compensation package. He can't cash it in yet, but he vested those
he doesn't need that stock. Yeah, he also doesn't need to. A billionaire doesn't need to be asked. Like the thing about the pre-orders for Cybertruck, like which also seems like really shady to me. Like you shouldn't be giving money to a company, to me at least, that doesn't have a physical product to then give you.
Yeah, but it is a great way to generate revenue in a time of need.
To build that product, I mean, it's basically Kickstarter for automotive.
The dude knows how to shift money. Like credit where credit's due.
Yeah, and the Bronco or Ford with the Bronco kind of have done the similar thing. Like the Bronco website fucking crashed because so many people were putting in pre-orders after they released the Bronco.
Mm-hmm. Right. So again, Tesla's pioneering this sort of thing. So as much as you were irate earlier, like you said, you've got to give credit where credit's due.
Yeah.
And you're going to need a lot of credit if you want to buy yourself an E30 BMW M3. Because
wow, you did that better than I could have done it.
There was an 8,000 mile super clean example of an E30 M3 that went on Bring a Trailer, and it brought a strong number, $250,000. Absurd. That's
it's also an auction website, so take that as you will.
Yeah. Still, but the fact that, I mean, like, if I go on eBay to buy, say this model P1 that's $599 at the store, it even says down there $599, I'm not going to pay $10 on it just because I'm caught up in the auction fever. I might pay $7. I might pay $750. So I'm saying I think it's still in the ballpark of how much these cars are actually going for. I understand the auction fever sort of thing, but it's still ridiculous.
It's funny because somebody that I know locally, and I don't know if any of you do as well, he was selling a black low miles E30 M3 for $99,000, and like everyone like on Facebook Marketplace and like all that stuff, they were calling him up, being like, "You're out of your fucking mind for selling this E30."
Not buying it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's also kind of a gauge for like the general assessment of those kinds of vehicles. Whereas, like, that's not $100,000 driving experience. It just isn't.
But it's $100,000 nostalgia experience.
It can be. I mean, and that's why the Civic that sold recently for $67,000 on Bring a Trailer. Bring a Trailer has that allure, right? Because they also sold a $300,000 240Z.
Bring a Trailer just has some crazy like auction numbers, like whatever the muscle car auction is. What is it?
Barrett Jackson.
Like they've got nothing. Bring a Trailer has had some crazy cars sold for some crazy money.
Yeah. There was Gavin would know this one. There was like a white 997 like Carrera, like base Carrera that sold for like $40,000 with high mileage just because it was white. It was a rare color combo.
Yeah, like the eggshell white.
No, it was like a stone white. Like it was not some crazy white.
I didn't see this.
They only made like 100 of them, and that like drew the bidding up.
A high miles 997 Carrera should still probably, like a 997, that should probably still go for like 30 to 33. So it's not like proportionally. I remember it's not that crazy.
being absurd. Like I wasn't the only one in it. Maybe
Oh,
it was
was it like a 250,000 miles or some like crazy shit like that?
It was definitely north of like 150. I don't know exactly, but
interesting.
I don't know enough to be speaking to it, but it's absurd. Basically, what Porsches go for in general. I mean,
yeah.
I don't think the driving experience is worth it for a lot of those like 930 models that are base models going for $50,000.
I mean, you're also talking to somebody who's had, I've lived through, the cheap air cooled phase. I mean, my dad had not even the 964. My dad had a 78 SC, the Super Carrera. It was brown and it was a Targa, and he bought it in the early 2000s for like $17,000. Drove it for a year and sold it for $15,000. And he was like, "Yeah, that's like I owned it for like $2,000. Like that's not bad. That's really not bad." And then he bought and sold his 964, both at 20. So, and now that car is 45, 50 grand. Even with the miles that I had, it still had like 130,000 miles on it or some shit like that. But it was a Carrera 4 manual, had some exhaust and like a bumper installed radar, and sold it for 20 grand. And like that's easily now a $45,000 car. And the low miles 964s, even being a Carrera 4, that now, I mean, if it's low miles, that's a $60,000 car. It's crazy. It's really nuts.
Yeah,
to see where car markets go like that.
My sister and I are the perfect example of buying the right car and not buying the right car, because within a week of each other, we both bought fun cars. I bought my red Viper. She bought her red 930 85 3.2 manual Carrera.
And that's still a $40,000
car. we paid the exact same amount. We both paid $22,000 for these vehicles. Hers was at 95,000 miles at the time, something like that. My car is now worth, provided it's, in good shape and put together, it's worth 20, 22, somewhere in that range. She sold hers last year for 50. So.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Speaking of cars people don't want to buy.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you want to talk about Saabs, AJ?
I didn't even know this thing existed, but the Jeep Compass actually had a manual transmission until now.
I did not know that.
What a tragic vehicle.
Oh yeah, I know you could get a manual in the what's the small weird one, boxy one, built a Fiat.
Oh, the Renegade.
Renegade.
No, the Renegade lost its manual transmission the year before, so it lost its manual before this.
But the Renegade makes more sense to have a manual than the Compass.
It does, but it's gone. But the interesting footnote in this is that EVs for the first time outsold manual transmissions. EVs had 1.6% of the market. Manual transmissions had 1.1% of the market. So 2020 is officially the worst year ever after hearing that. So
that's so wild.
Yeah. But another manual that we lost this year is the Genesis G70. There is some 2021 model year cars out there that they've built that are manual, but fewer than 100 Genesis G70 manuals were made in 2020. So super rare car. There are like 30 of them out there on Auto Trader right now, so you can find one. But it was, rear wheel drive, manual transmission, 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo instead of the 3.3 twin turbo one. So a lot of people went for the more power and the all-wheel drive, and I get that. But this is really sad to me because the BMW doesn't offer manual. Mercedes hasn't offered a manual for years. Like that sports sedan market that is like the entry level for somebody who's an enthusiast that's starting to get a little bit more funds, it's gone now. Like it's as soon as the G70 is gone, there's nothing else in that category that offers a manual anymore.
That's a shame.
I'm very saddened by it. But
and here's the thing: I feel like the sports sedans kind of need the manual because they're not as sporty as, say, a Coupe or a convertible. So you kind of need that manual to really feel like you're, or at least I do. I feel like I have more fun in a row your own. than an automatic. But that's just me. And it's like a manual can make a boring car fun.
Mm-hmm. My truck, for an example, like my Frontier and my Tacoma, by all means, fill the same purpose. I get way more pleasure out of driving my Tacoma because it's a manual.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, the cars that really need it are the ones that are losing it. Those sporty sedans. So it's just a shame. It is. The car market's going in a really weird direction. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah. But the good news is if you drive in Germany now, you're going to have to pay more money if Germany gets their way. They want to put a toll on all motorways throughout the country, and the only exception to this is if it's like a tour bus. I mean, it's like even trucks are going to have to pay for this toll. Even those within Germany, they're like opposing to the toll. Basically, are like, let's just delay this. Let's not basically make it effective immediately. They're not trying to say no tolls, no tolls. They're just saying, look, it's going to happen. Let's just push it back a little bit. Next year, maybe, not immediately like they're trying to do. So all hope is lost in Germany, apparently, if you want to drive on the motorway. I mean,
they're getting rid of all of their freeways.
Yeah, exactly. No longer free. But I mean, they're trying to do things here in the U.S. the same way, based on mileage that you drive and, distance traveled. You have to pay a certain amount in this zone, and rather than just a flat gas tax rate, because you've got EVs now that don't have to pay that. So
I mean, doesn't the UK have some sort of situation like that, like the tax disc, where like you pay a tax based on how fuel efficient your car is or isn't? Or am I misunderstanding that?
No, you do actually have different taxes, and then also based on the fuel efficiency. But Japan and China for a long time have done the same thing based on displacement. So that's why they have these one-off specials of, hey, you want a Porsche Boxster? Well, let's make it a 2-liter because it's cheaper, instead of having that flat 6 in there, which we talked about a couple weeks ago, Gavin. But that basically saved Porsche being able to have these unique, GT4 models or GT Spider or whatever models, because they can have that 2-liter turbo in other markets.
It's funny. I don't know who knows this exactly, but I heard this somewhere else, but I corroborated this with a supercar friend over the weekend. And the 4-liter that you hear about in the GT4 and the Boxster Spider, we all know it's not quote unquote the same 4-liter as what's in the GT3 or any Metzger or anything like that. But they literally took the 3-liter. The 3-liter turbo that's out of the Carrera, and they removed turbos, and they just bored that same engine out to 4 liters.
Yep.
And that's it.
Yep.
So it's literally just a bored out NA Carrera motor, effectively.
Yeah, no, I did actually know that. It's not a lot of people do, but yeah, it's kind of cool that there's options out there for them to do other things with that motor. And obviously it bodes well for the fact that they may have a 3-liter turbo model or 3-liter turbo model of the
I'm just really hoping for the future that they abandon this 2-liter and 2.5-liter bullshit with the mid-engine platforms, because they are so throttling back those cars, and they always have. It's literally called the Cayman complex.
Yeah.
Of holding back a vehicle, because they know that if they made a 3.8 liter or 3.6 liter flat 6 that went in the Boxster or Cayman, holy shit! If they literally gave it the 911 motor and called it the Cayman or the Boxster, then it would completely outsell the 911, because objectively, and this is coming from a 911 fanboy, it's objectively better in the packaging department as far as storage in the rear and in the front. There's way more storage to be had in mid-engine cars. And if you gave it that same soundtrack that's in the 911, more people are going to buy it.
It's not the same profit machine, though, as the 911.
I know, and they've been counting on the 911 for the last almost 60 years now. So, like,
well, wasn't the 928 supposed to replace the 911?
It was supposed to, and then no, somewhere during the mid 70s, an executive, I don't know who, he walked into a boardroom meeting, and like there's this famous moment that a lot of Porsche related people know, where there was a chart, and like there was the 911 sales chart, and the chairman or whoever was on the board, he walked into the room and took a marker and just drew a line going straight up, saying like, we're going to keep making this car. So yeah, and like, do I wish they made a Panamera coupe that was basically a 928? Fuck yeah, that would be awesome. Will they make it? Maybe. I don't know. It's hard.
I don't think it would sell well enough, but
no, but it'd be so well. I mean, they can make it to like compete with like the 8 Series BMWs.
Yeah, but they can't sell the 8 Series. Like they're skipping a model year on the 8 Series because they have too much bloated inventory. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, and it's barely came out. It's like it's been out a year and they're already skipping a year.
It's funny because like if you look at the numbers on it, if you look at the spec sheet on those cars and how they perform, it's insane. Like they're fast fucking cars. They're just numb and devoid of all feeling.
So yeah, let me get my thoughts right. It's they're not having a model year 2021 coupe or convertible. They will have a Grand Coupe. Grand Coupe's selling well enough.
Of course it is.
They will have a 2021 M8
Put
Grand
a fucking bullet in my head. Jesus Christ.
The M8 coupe and convertible, they have too much of them. They're not going to bring them to the U.S. for.
It's funny because like the M8 competition, like that's a sub 3 seconds 0 to 60 for.
Mm-hmm. It's impressive.
North of 4,000 pound coupe. It's insane, but you know, they're able to pull off weird shit with various launch controls and computers and mad torque at low RPM and all-wheel drive and all that goodness. But we're really tangenting off of what we were talking about initially with Porsches and all that stuff. So
we were talking about Germany and money.
You know who else is getting rid of coupes and verts is Mercedes.
Yeah, so they are. AJ, again, you need to just be running this thing.
You can just replace me.
Is AJ the soberest one of us all besides Trent?
I'm the most sober, I guarantee that.
I've had probably 3.5 shots of Malibu.
Okay, I'm working on 4 of Jack Daniel. No, 6 actually, because
I don't think this Malibu is good anymore because I don't feel good.
Anyway,
so some barbecue to see if that fixes issues.
Speaking of things that are not good, Mercedes is planning to get rid of the C-Class and E-Class coupes and convertibles.
Well, they didn't sell any of them.
Well, if you have money, how are you going to show your wealth?
Well, I've seen some C-Class coupes, and they look hot. And I actually just
love the coupe.
I saw an E-Class coupe over the weekend, and like it stopped me in my tracks. It's like, holy shit!
Like as much as I like the C63, I would never buy one in a sedan. The coupe, the C63S coupe, is just gorgeous looking.
The lines are beautiful.
My question is now
the Black Series with the body, the aero kit on it, and looks so good.
So if you have money and you want to show that you are a prominent member of society, what do you buy now?
Well,
you buy an S-Class coupe that is not an AMG.
Yeah, there you go. That's baller as fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, or have you seen like an S-Class convertible just driving around? Those are baller mobiles.
Not that I can. Yes. I've seen older ones, nothing newer.
I've naturally, of course, I've seen them in Park City, but like you see them rolling around with the top down, you're like that's a person of taste. Like you know what you have there. I see you.
This guy's been somewhere.
There's a neighbor across the street that
in Draper.
No, not Draper, Zach.
In Sandy.
In Sandy.
Not for Sandy.
Exactly. Gavin gets it. Just across the road that they have been on a buying spree of vehicles. Like, I don't know them personally, but they now have an E63 S wagon. They have an S550 coupe.
Can you give them my number?
So now you want to know them personally, is what you're saying.
Of course.
I know these guys.
But then they also got an AMG GT, and then that's parked in the garage. In the outside, they've got a brand new GLI, a new Raptor. What else am I missing? A Passat. These are like their kids' cars. Like they're all like, these are all brand new within the last 6 months. But anyway,
do we want to put a wager on them getting a Bronco?
Highly likely. They have a Wrangler. There we go. They have a Wrangler.
I'll take the under over on that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, they're absolutely getting a Bronco.
Right.
Totally. They're pre-ordered.
Yeah.
They're pre-ordered.
But anyway, going back to the S-Class, that is just, it was an S550. So it was a brand new vehicle. But when that rolled up, I was like, dang. Yeah, that's a good looking vehicle. Something about it over the S63. But the funny thing is, 7 models are getting cut from the lineup, and the S-Class Coupe and Cabrio are kind of on the chopping block.
No, we like those.
I'm going to click on the link. Or any of them SUVs?
Yeah, well, that link, basically I just stuck something else in there because I figured you guys wouldn't even look at the link anyway. But it's a separate link that says the 7 models that are being cut. But going back to the C-Class... Going back to the C-Class and the E-Class, they are being replaced by the CLE, which is basically... So they have the CLA, which is their 4-door coupe thing, and then they have the CLS, which is their 4-door coupe thing.
Yeah.
They're going to have the CLE slot in between those in size. So it's not compact. It's not, it's basically C-Class.
Their crossover?
No, this is going to be a rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive coupe or convertible. But instead of having a separate C-Class and a separate E-Class, it's going to be one CLE, which is kind of in between to kind of match, You
lost me there.
And according to this, it's supposed to be
it's
supposed to be a shooting brake? Is that what they're trying to do with it?
There is going to be a wagon variant. Of course, the U.S. won't get it, but they're basically going to have one coupe and convertible to rule them all, and it's going to be slotted in between the C and the E in terms of size. So they're calling it the CLE, but we won't get it till 2023.
How sick would it be if they made like an E series fastback, like an E63 fastback or an E63 three-door hatchback?
I mean, they wouldn't because they already have the wagon that you can buy for $150,000.
No, but how sick would that be though?
I mean, it'd be awesome for sure, but they would have to do that to the C-Class, not the E-Class.
Oh, you're right. So like a C-Class.
Okay, so
hatchback.
The C230 compressor hatchback from like early 2000s. I loved those vehicles. I would love to make an AMG version of those. Like,
bring that back.
I could see them doing like a C300 maybe, or I guess a GLE 300 hatchback. I could see that happening, like a shooting brake kind of thing.
It's the same thing as
that's something that Europe would get, and like we'd get fucked on.
Yeah, exactly.
That's totally something we get fucked on.
That's how it works. The world goes round.
Yeah. My question got answered. Are they cutting any SUVs out of their current lineup?
Honestly, sorry. I thought you were saying that they were doing SUVs more.
No. I was asking because I'm trying to make a correlation here that SUVs are the new thing, and they're stupid.
They certainly are. Yeah. They're here to stay.
I don't think it says anything about them cutting SUVs. It's mostly just the coupes and the coupes and the verts.
So we're losing more coupes this year, or we've lost so many.
I mean, if you look back to Ford and Chevy, I mean, what was it, 2 years ago, or at the end of 2018, they started cutting their anything that wasn't a Mustang or an SUV.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Which is why I gave my angry rant to Ford as an article for Cam.
You know what else is getting released? Yes, it was quite angry. But you know what else is getting released in Europe that we're not getting?
What's
Everything?
This AMG GT Black.
Are we not getting it?
No, we will get it, but the pricing has been released. Yes, the pricing's been released in the UK.
I guess last week or 2 weeks ago, we talked about this last. I guessed 280 or 290. I can't remember.
That seems high. That seems really high. I would say starting at 250. Starting at 250, I would say. Am I wrong?
Trent,
you are wrong. Yeah.
Do you want to drop the guillotine?
Gavin, here we go. Ready? A fully loaded AMG GT Black Series is going to cost you in Europe €365,000.
Hold on. Wait. Before you say anything, first of all, that sounds like horseshit. 365,000.
It's literally in the agenda.
Yeah, it's literally in the agenda.
No, I know, but I just want to the current for those that are listening and watching, at the very current exchange rate at this recording is $429,000.
Yeah,
that hurts right in the wallet.
It starts at $390,000 based on current conversion rates.
Fuck. You could buy an E30 M3 for that.
Oh my god.
AJ, you win. You win.
I would rather buy a GT2 RS because you can. You can buy a GT2 RS for that money.
Yes.
Hey, Mercedes, go fuck yourself. I don't care if I ever get a press car from you ever. Go fuck yourself.
I said 280 or 290, and I knew that was high. In my head, I thought 250, like you were saying.
Yeah, it's starting. So, like Trent, like you mentioned, that's fully loaded, quote unquote, as tested. If you took a bunch of carbon shit out of there, and like if you didn't get the aero and all that stuff, that might drop you down to €275.
No.
What's base? What's base for that?
Base is 335. So, like I said, starts at 390 based on conversion rates in the US, which makes zero sense because a GTR Pro is what, 200-ish, and all it takes is a tune to basically get you to this. I mean,
are there any suspension, even rebound settings? I'm sure there are.
Yeah, there is. I mean, it's got an exclusive suspension, but it's mainly the aero, and it does make some more power. 728, I think it was.
I mean, that's a lot from that 4-liter. Holy shit, that's still a lot. But
where's that much of a price jump, though?
The track package is €7,500 that gives you a roll cage and 4-point harness and a fire extinguisher. But
whoopty fucking dude,
that's not going to be available in the US because we hate roll cages.
They're not safe.
Make America great again. Fuck safety.
Make America race again. I just had a really funny mental image of like the Mercedes dealership or Mercedes manufacturing plant in Stuttgart or wherever the fuck it is in Germany, and they've got like a press car with Gavin's name printed neatly on it, and some like line worker has got the podcast playing, and he just hears it, and he's like, "Oh, fuck this!"
He's scraping off the name off it.
rips the tag off.
Yeah, but no, it will be coming to the U.S. Our official pricing won't be revealed until early in 2021, but at least gives you an idea that it will be absurd, and you're only going to see them bought to be parked and looked at.
Guess what? You'll see them at Malibu Cars and Coffee.
Yeah. Who gives a fuck anyway? The only person that's going to see him is Gavin because he's the only one that spends enough time in Park City to see one.
Fuck off.
Hey, I went to Park City today.
How was it?
I went to Best Buy because they were.
Bougie?
That's not Park City. That's not Park City. Fuck out of here. That's A4098. Come on, get good. Get to the A4060, son.
Wow.
It's okay because I'm also from the A4098, so it's cool.
So on the weather forecast in Park City, they go, today we have 100% chance of bougie.
Brought
yesterday,
to you by Chanel.
Right? It's funny because I was actually having dinner with a friend of mine that has an RS5, B8.5 RS5, the good one, the V8 that you want. And we got dinner yesterday on Main Street in Park City, and I had a conversation with them, and I said, like, I've realized that the place I'm from doesn't exist anymore. Like, Park City has changed. Yeah. Like, Park City was bougie when I was a kid, but like it's still like crazy different from growing up.
While you're sitting there eating your dinner, did you see Clarence and his ragtag crew of?
No, but I see the Facebook posts.
We actually talked about that with my buddy Jackson. We did the same thing 3 weeks ago with a Viper, a Cappuccino, a Tesla.
You don't know the Cappuccino?
They're blue and that crashed.
Oh.
We met him 2 weeks before he crashed it, and I am so sad I didn't get rid of it.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
And an EH sedan. EG sedan.
Okay. So very much the poor man's version of what they did with, what was it? A 720S and a Gallardo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The note I made was, I had people looking at me in the Viper, but not to the extent as that crew. Also, have you met the guy at the 720S? The NVIDIA
guy? We can talk off air, but I've read to them on Facebook. I don't know.
I've met him. He's super nice. I just wondered if you had an opportunity to talk to him.
I haven't. I mean, like, we bullshitted on like some like Facebook stuff, but like not like in person or anything.
Yeah. He came to Crescent Coffee. That's the reason why I've managed.
Oh, cool.
But speaking of crashed cars that I don't actually have on the agenda, is what's his name? The F1 driver crashed his Senna LM over the weekend.
Big sad.
That hurts.
One of 25. Like
that hurts.
It was in Monaco, and
oof.
Yeah, Adrian Solti. Yeah,
that would happen in Monaco, though. Let's be honest.
Right.
That would happen there, wouldn't it? That would happen anywhere else.
But you know what? I'm not very good at math, but it turns out Hertz is very good at math. They are trading $650 million in exchange for $6 billion.
That's good math.
That is good math.
That's math.
Great math. Yes.
Great maths.
Elon Musk math right there.
Yeah,
so how do they do that exactly?
So part of their Chapter 11 bankruptcy hearing, they are trying to reduce their debt, understandably. So in exchange for guaranteeing $650 million in equal payments spread out from July through the end of the year, they're going to reduce their debt load by $6 billion. But they will still owe $5 billion as part of this debt load, even after they took $6 billion off the top. And they're still going to sell 182,000 vehicles to try and reduce inventory and trying to prop themselves up to give them enough money to keep things going.
They can only hope.
Fucking Christ.
Right.
We'll see.
But it's crazy that they can just be like, yeah, we'll give you 10%. And they're like, all right, well, it's better than you guys going bankrupt. So, and we get none of it. So
I wonder how many Hertz Mustangs they'll sell.
They've been selling quite a few. They've been selling really good prices.
Mustangs and Jeeps.
And Corvettes. They've been selling off their Corvettes.
Wow.
And, yeah.
And a lot of Dodge Rams for some reason. I don't know. They've got a lot of Dodge Rams.
I haven't seen that. I've seen a bunch of Infinities show up. Like,
oh yeah, there's a bunch of those too.
It's because those are $10,000.
Do you know what? Okay, I was shocked. I really was like, maybe I should look at a Q50 because
you should
because they are so ridiculously cheap. I mean, even like last year, I had a buddy that I used to work with at Lexus that went over to Infinity, and he's like, "Hey, I've got brand new Infinity Q50 2-liter turbos that we can't sell.
How much?
For like 22, brand new. Like
what?
Yeah. They were like 10K off, no problem. I mean, they were still fairly well loaded, and
that's great. Okay, so my only anecdote, or one of my few anecdotes to this realization, comes from when my dad was he had a G37X coupe. Mm-hmm. It was amethyst graphite, so that really pretty, like mostly gray into somewhat of a purple.
Park
color.
City bougie.
Well, I mean, he bought his shit used. So he had that for sale at like 17 back like 4 years ago. And he had that. It's funny because he was trying to sell that, and he also had a 996 turbo that he was trying to keep that ended up going by the wayside because it was a kind of a piece of shit. But yeah, he couldn't get rid of it. What he literally ended up doing was taking the G37X coupe and the 996 turbo, and he went to RC Automotive and said, "Here, have these cars. I want that TTS." And they're like, "Cool, we'll give you 10 grand for it, or we'll give you 10 grand." So he sold 2 cars and got a new car and got a $10,000 check. So and that was a crazy low mile. That's like a 13. He bought it at a 13,000 miles. It already had the 30,000 mile service done already. It has baseball seats, and a few months after, he actually got the integrated stage 1 reflash for it. So it makes like 290 horse at the wheels and like 345 foot-pounds at the wheels, and like it scoots.
That'll
like
move,
that. Yeah, that was when I was working at Integrated, and it's funny because at that point I was worked at Integrated and lived with my parents in Park City. So I just drove his car down to Salt Lake. I took Immigration Candy in the morning because I was like, "Fuck it, why would I not do that?" And I drove it to work, and then I did my work day, and like by the time I drove home, the car was tuned, and I drove it home tuned, and it was fucking awesome.
Why did you go Immigration? Why didn't you like go the right way over to East Canyon and like your favorite?
I guess I really wanted to wake up early. If I really wanted to wake up early in the morning, if I wanted to like be leaving at like 8 o'clock, because I work at 10 o'clock in Salt Lake.
Early is 8 o'clock?
For me, it is, yeah.
That's early.
If I wanted to like leave leave Park City at 8 a.m., I would have taken East Canyon, I don't know. I just, because like I-80 and Immigration kind of are somewhat parallel, whereas East Canyon is like way in the opposite direction, and I had to cut way up to Layton and like come back down south. I just wanted to take a more direct way to work, so I took Immigration, and that's still like got some twisties and it's like some good stuff in it, and I wanted to take a good road that I wouldn't get too heat soaked on the way back, because this was like we did this in like July of like 2016. So, but yeah, it was a great drive. And the car, I mean, I asked my dad about it a few weeks ago over 4th of July, and because I hadn't checked in with that car for quite some time, and he's like, "Yeah, no, drives great, no problems, no nothing. It's fast, like for a car that small, and like for considering it's not like an actual supercar, like a low end, like a high end sports car. It's quick." You know, that power paired up with that dual clutch is fucking mint. So,
just be honest, you didn't want to have to drive through plebeian Layton.
I fucking hate Davis County. I hate traffic and like the grid system in Davis County. Jesus Christ, I can't stand it. I like for having done it like with the flower shop and Native Flower Company. Fuck that shit. You guys don't know how to get your shit together. Honestly,
he's just driving through like it's just plebs. It's all plebs.
It's the pores.
It's the pores.
I see the pores are at it again.
I can definitely see the pores are at it again.
Oh, man.
Also, Immigration is still under construction. But anyways, I'm sure there's better things to talk about during this podcast. You probably want to wrap this shit up, don't you?
What was your question, Gavin?
At some point. Yeah, this is a good time for your question that we never got to because we went here and there and
everywhere.
Yeah.
The question was, would we feel differently about the Civic Type R had they done it in the coupe and not the hatch?
No.
Well, of course. Absolutely, we'd feel different, but I'd feel worse.
Feel worse? Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I think, expand on that.
So, first of all, the coupe is no longer... I guess you weren't here last week. They're getting rid of the coupe. Like, it's gone. The Civic Coupe is gone.
Unfortunate. Okay.
So they're not selling them, first of all. This generation coupe, I think, looked awful. I think in the past, the coupe has looked better than the sedan or the hatchback. But the whole fact that we get a hatchback, I love the fact that the Type R is a hatchback. That's what it should always be, is it should be a hatchback, not a coupe.
Well, this body style looks horrible as a coupe. It looks so the lines and the geometry on it lends itself to the hatchback kind of fastback look. The coupe just did not look good at all.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I was not a huge fan of the coupe either. Like I'm not that opposed to it, but the body kit on the Type R is amazing. It looks good, and it really fits what the car is.
Evan is struggling over there.
Okay, so I have some thoughts then compared to what everyone else on this podcast has said, because I feel like the design and the aggressiveness of the design of the Type R would have lent itself much better to the coupe. I definitely, I wholeheartedly think that. Despite the practicality and the pragmatics, part of me aside, I think how aggressive that wing was, how aggressive the fake intakes were, I feel like those lines would have matched up better with a two-door or with the coupe than it ever did with the hatchback. And I think because of that is why a lot of people shit on the design of the Type R. That's my opinion.
That is an opinion, yes. It is not fact.
Unpopular car opinions.
That dumpster fire.
I do think that they did go a little overboard on the design of it, but I do think the only way they were going to
35% off the top of this Squirrely Dan.
maybe 15, maybe 15, 20%. But no, I think the Chirp says Patches is wrong, and your Patches, by the way, Gavin.
Chirp can go fuck himself. I'll tell that to his face.
There are fighting words there, bud.
But anyway, I think if they put it as a coupe, they wouldn't have sold very well at all, because you can sell this to the significant other. You can sell this as, hey, it's absolutely a practical vehicle, but it's fun. And look at their competition. The Focus RS, that's a 4-door hatchback. Why would they?
5-door, but yeah.
Come on, don't be a dick right now.
I'm fucking 6-shot seat, my guy. I'm there. I'm there.
Yeah, but it makes more sense to make it a sedan, but then also making it a hatchback is just honoring its heritage, and they're not going to make a 3-door anymore because apparently.
But what if they did? What if that was an option? Imagine if they had that on the coupe.
Then we might have to have a different conversation.
Use your big boy brain. Use your big boy imagination. And
it might be a different conversation if there was a 3-door hatch. Would that change your opinion, AJ or Zach?
I'd be cool with it as a 3-door hatch.
Would that not be more sports car? Would that not be more serious?
No, you're absolutely right. A 3-door hatch would be way more sports car than a 5-door hatch, and I feel like that harkens back into old school Civic way more than a 5-door hatch.
Right. I was never a huge fan of the last of the 3-door hatches we got. The ER whatever the fucking
EP3 that I loved and owned. Yes.
What is that? The one with the the dashboard shifter?
Yep.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, I've always loved those though. So I guess I'm
Gavin.
weird.
No way. We can be friends.
Go fuck yourself, Trent.
There it is. Bingo! Right there.
It's funny. I actually have a black one that lives in my building that parks in my parking garage. It's black and it's it's an EP3.
Yeah, an EP3 Type R, man. That is a gorgeous.
Other markets
vehicle.
did get that though.
Yeah, UK totally got it.
Oh, yeah.
The interiors were wild, but I actually like the body styling on those cars.
They were clean. They were really clean.
They were really clean. Those and the what was it, the RSX?
Yeah.
So
I like the RSX, but I'm also a mid 2000s kid, early mid 2000s kid. So I'm a 90s baby, but early mid 2000s kid. So I
had an RSX X mod. If anybody knows what that is,
I don't.
They were these customizable cars from Radio Shack, but you could buy body kits for them and wheel kits and.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I had an RSX RC car with a I believe it was a Veilside body kit, like an actual it was like a Veilside licensed, I think is what it was, body kit for it. It was pretty damn sick.
It's funny because at the same time I had a first gen NSX RC car that was black, which is what kind of prompted the video for the video we did with Cam, actually, what I did with Mike with Omar's car. And then I also had a black Boxster for second gen. There's a 987
of course
Boxster
you did.
RC car. And then, but then I also had the drift car from Fast and the Furious, that 350Z.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you watch Mr. JWW at all, Gavin?
Like, I subscribe to him. My fellow co-host Justin McIntyre is kind of how I am with Matt Farah. He is with Mr. JWW.
Oh, he's that into Mr. JWW.
Oh,
okay.
Well, maybe like 85 or 80% of that. But yeah, like he's definitely like quoted him and like on things like this.
All right. Well, I just saw, I don't watch him regularly, but I did see him get his new 992 Turbo S. Did you see that video at all?
No, but I've been watching Car Wow videos on the 992 Turbo S, and holy shit, that thing will outrun a 720. That shit outruns a McLaren 720, which is insane because that's the McLaren 720.
The 720s, yeah.
It's been the fastest car they've had in their quarter mile testing and all that other stuff. And yeah, I mean, like if even the 911 Carreras, even the Carrera S's, I mean, they get the 8-speed PDK, so they get another gear, and the clutches on those things drop super fucking hard. So their 0 to 60s are just fucking batshit crazy. Yeah. I mean, we live in an era now where like a 3-second 0 to 60 on a Carrera, like that's a reality. Like that's a thing that can just happen.
Yeah. But
on a Carrera.
The point of bringing up that Mr. JWW thing is, so he did this whole heart-tugging thing of where when he was a kid walking in to see a 996 Turbo S at a dealership, they welcomed him in even though he was a young kid. They gave him a brochure of a 996 Turbo, and he walks into the dealership. He walked into the dealership to buy his Turbo S with that brochure that he got when he was like 14 years old. And I was like, cool. When you talked about when you talked about your 987 Boxster little RC car, I'm like, I could see Gavin doing this video, like, I had this RC car and then I literally manifested it into this new Cayman or whatever,
I literally did that with Omar's NSX. Like I literally mentioned that because I had a black first gen NSX RC car. Like that was my very first RC car, and I remember making a little quote unquote advertisements with that RC car. Like I made little videos. Like I would go underneath my parents' cars in the garage because there was like dirt and like stuff that would fall off my parents' cars, and I would like be filming like the back quarter of the car and be holding the RC car off camera and holding it in place and filming it and showing like a little burnout and like all that stuff and like making like little advertisements and showing text on screen and all that good stuff. Yeah,
I did the opposite. I had a go-kart when I was like 12, 13. I'm just
must be fucking nice, Trent. Must be fucking nice.
Anyway, what I did I did like James Bond style videos. I'd set the camcorder up like on the fence post or whatever, and I'd sit there and like slide the go-kart in and like walk out all cool like yeah, I'm a spy that has a cool car, but obviously it was a dinky little go-kart.
Sure.
Hey, you gotta start somewhere.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
See, when you said James Bond thing, I thought you meant the part where he comes over the hill and then wrecks and then flips 20 times. And
I wasn't going to mention that because it makes me look bad, but now that you mention it.
I mean, that's a different era of Bond now, isn't it?
It is.
Like Trent, you're more probably Pierce Brosnan Bond.
Oh yes, this was. I did that move, and then I walked inside and played GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64. So
Pierce Brosnan is
honestly, I'm more aligned with that era of Bond than I do with Daniel Craig. So like, I get it.
Oh yeah.
Well, I feel so young.
Pierce Brosnan Pierce Brosnan is the best Bond. Let's just get that out of
He's the classiest, isn't he?
Absolutely. Yeah. He's the most, like, if you imagine James Bond, he's who I imagine. Like,
the suave black hair and the suit and the Omega Speedmaster on his wrist.
The tailored suit, the broad shoulders, like, the physique, the speech, everything.
Chiseled face.
He's got the look, that smolder, like, he's just got it.
Oh, for sure.
Blue steel.
And I will.
I'd fuck Pierce Brosnan for sure.
He's got Magnum, yeah.
I was wondering to see who would catch that.
But no, I will always appreciate that movie and Pierce Brosnan in general, not only for the GoldenEye game, because I spent way too much time on that, but my parents at the time, saw that and are like, we need that car. They got a brand new, it was like, second or third one in the state, Z3 2.8 manual. It was white, so it wasn't, the color, the weird color, greenish color, whatever it was in Bond.
The Z3 green.
Yeah. But at the time, that was a pretty hot car, and it was like, I would sit in that and row the gears.
Maybe I need to make a video for Cam. I know somebody with a Dakar yellow Z3. It's on M, but it's still. Maybe that might be a video might need to make for Cam.
Just bring me along, would you?
Okay, yeah, sure.
I just want to.
Okay, but when is the Viper getting done? That's the question.
If I had like 2 to 3 hours, it would be done. Like, the intakes are on. I need to put the intake boxes on, and then I need to swap out the trans mount and finish installing the torque arm. Like, that's it. Put fluids in, obviously. Like, it's
Trent,
really freaking close.
You and I need to talk, I think.
So about a weekend's worth of work is what you're telling me, Trent? About a weekend?
Well, yeah.
A weekend?
If I had a weekend to dedicate to it. But
I believe in you.
It's the simplest things where you're like, oh, this is going to be 30 minutes. And then that turns into 3 trips to Harbor Freight, 2 trips to AutoZone.
Okay, this was originally going to be a 1-week deal. Like, I had the time allotted. I had help allotted. Like, it was going to happen. And then just one thing after another. Like, I probably spent $300-400 on overnighting parts, just the overnighting of the parts.
From
like
Japan?
valve stem seals. It was a $40 worth of parts. I spent $80 to overnight them.
Yeah,
like, it's ridiculous to try and get them here on time, and then it didn't happen. It didn't work, and then I get the valve stem seals, and then the guy who was machining the head was like, "Oh yeah, I got a bunch of work now, so you're gonna have to."
Ask you before, who did your machining again?
We'll talk about it later.
Did you overnight them from Japan?
No, you know what? I overnighted them from Missouri.
There you go. Close enough.
Missouri.
Yeah. So excellent question, though, Gavin.
We need to talk. If you wanted like web chat or whatever, like off camera, like I'm down. I'd like to talk to you about some things for sure.
Okay. Zack has been patiently waiting to sit in the vehicle. So
for size, do I fit in it?
Yeah.
Because I fit in the 09 era.
You match the thickness.
Yeah, you technically could sit in it right now, but it is sitting on Pittsburgh jack stands.
No. I don't want the responsibility of that. I'll pass.
No, like seriously, that's all I have is Pittsburgh ones, and it's like been up there since the recall happened. So it's like,
my Subaru, same thing.
So I'm sticking like cinder blocks under the wheels. So it's like, okay, if they fail, I'll get hurt, but I won't die. So, I'll be able to live to see through the lawsuit.
Do you give your phone to one of your children and say, okay, I'm dialing 9 and 1, and when it falls, you hit the last one and hit call. Yep. You got that speech yet?
Pretty much.
Or just preload 911 and just, all right, when this falls, just hit green.
Yeah. Pretty much.
It's funny. Also,
here's some mail.
Church just messaged me about hatchback versus coupe, and he says, "Hatchback, sorry, buddy, I still want to fight, or I'll still fight you if you want."
Why is it Chirp messaging me? Chirp message me.
Trent, here's what you do, because you can text 911 now. So just have the text preloaded. Get one of those styluses and tape it to the body of the car. That way, when it falls, it hits send.
Oh no! It cracked the screen. It didn't send.
Fuck! Yikes! That is a certifiable yikes, my guy.
Yeah.
You have been awarded one yike from the Ministry of Yikes.
So, speaking about yikes.
Yikes on bikes?
Yeah. So anyway, great question, Gavin. We'll put that out to the general public.
Yeah, no, I'm curious to see what people have to say about that, for sure.
Yeah. Well, Derek agrees with you, but he's dead to us. So
Derek?
Yeah,
Derek as in Derek Sanders?
I'm not sure. Derek likes cars on YouTube.
I send the links. I hope
that is Derek. Yes, no, he and I agree. He also just messaged me right now. He said, Coupe would slap. Fuck the hatch. His words, not mine.
Apparently he's a man with no taste.
Derek?
Yeah.
You're dead.
I mean, he also owns a yellow Outback, so...
Him and I are Outback bros, though. But he also has a GS300 that he wanted to make his daily and then continue to weld the diff. Yes, he did.
Well, one of the symptoms of the Rona is lack of taste, so... Eric, go get yourself tested.
I did like Derek telling me about my Subaru. He's like, yeah, you should weld the diff on your Subaru, too, because mine's going to be rear-wheel drive.
You should not do that.
It's a bad idea.
He goes, no, I barely noticed it. And I go, really?
No. So Zach, this is me speaking to you, man to man. I actually had to drive the it in between the Forester and my car and the Fiesta. I drove Giselle for I don't know, north of a week or so, and everywhere I went, I was constantly reminded of the welded diff by the just the hopping of the tire. No, don't fucking do it. Don't do it. For something that's a daily, for something that's even a street car, regardless, don't fucking do it. If that's your designated track car or drift car, then sure, fucking have at it. But if that is anything you're driving on the street at all, fuck that.
Well, I get both worlds with my Tacoma. Oh, gravel parking lot. Beep. Road. Beep.
Wait, what year Tacoma do you have?
I have an 03.
Okay.
It's an e-locker.
Oh, you're good. You're fine.
It's a manual TRD with a locker. Dude, I throw so many donuts. It's great.
So you have the V6 in that then, right?
The 3.4.
Okay. So growing up, in middle school, my dad bought, because he had to for his job, he bought a 4-liter Frontier crew cab. It wasn't like a long bed or anything.
Frontiers suck balls.
Go fuck yourself.
Oh, I have put almost 80,000.
The Frontier is all the truck anybody ever actually needs. Everything after the Frontier is luxury.
I've put 60 to 80,000 miles on a Frontier in the past 2 years. It is the worst vehicle I've ever driven.
Okay, we put 125,000 miles on that car or on that truck in 3 years. Or sorry, in 5 years. Anyways, like I was saying, we had the 4-liter, we had the V6 crew cab, and my dad and I would go down to Green River on golf trips and rip fat fucking Bernies in that thing. Oh, yeah. It wouldn't give a fuck.
Gavin, I drove a Frontier for work, and those things are.
You drove a 4-cylinder. Go fuck yourself.
They are dog shit.
You drove a 4-cylinder. It's not the fucking same.
When it snows, though, I can slide the absolute living shit out of that Frontier, like ladder racks and all.
I drove that shit in high school, but even before I drove the Outback, and I would just give a little bit too much gas, just turning right on a 4-way. It would hold on, let me put my fucking drink down. You go the throttle was so fucking touchy compared to the brakes. So touchy.
Oh, the brakes are nothing. It's like you're.
Well, it has good brakes, but just the brake pedal itself is firmer.
Oh, yeah,
The throttle pedal itself was way loose, and it reflected in the driving dynamics because you just put it down and just go. It has 280.
That's the way Gavin. Gavin, that's the way you like it. Loose driving dynamics.
Well, actually, no, though, because the Fiesta ST is actually quite firm.
Did your dads have the VVTi or the fuck they were calling it?
It was in 2006, so I presume it's the same shit that they have now. It's the 4 liter.
I think it changed over at 09.
No. Oh, that is different then.
2020, they have a 3.8 V6 in it.
Oh wow,
that's unfortunate.
So
no replacement for displacement, brother.
So I have a 2014, so it's basically the same thing. But I do have the VVTi.
How is it?
I have been on Scions that pick up better on top range.
Say that one more time.
I have been in Scions that have better top end.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, it's not supposed to have VTEC. Like, it's not the same shit.
No. But...
So, Gavin, how much does a Frontier tow?
I don't know. The Frontier was all that my dad needed for the time. It's just for hauling.
You just said no. Hold on. You said that's all a truck anybody needs.
Ooh.
Yeah, Trent's over there rocking his 2500 Cummins.
No. I'm just rocking the 6.4 Hemi.
Oh, I thought you had the Cummins.
No, I've got the 6.4 Hemi. I've got a nice truck. My options were a tradesman with like crank windows. And
I don't know, man. Sounds like luxury to me.
Or 6.4 Hemi with a heated and ventilated seats, parking sensors, keyless entry.
That sounds mighty
CarPlay.
bougie if you fucking ask me. And that's coming from someone who's from Park City. So
I mean, you could put the Frontier in the bed of the Ram. Let's be real here.
Yeah,
you can literally park like a first gen Mini Cooper, like an R53 Mini Cooper.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'm saying though, Frontier does not tow as much as I have towed
That's
with
fair,
that vehicle on a pretty.
But how many people? And don't use anecdotal knowledge. Like, fuck that shit, because like that shit is useless. How many actual people need that much towing on the daily basis?
I mean, those guys in Park City with wakeboard boats that go to the lake every weekend?
Okay, that's Park City. That's fair.
Those wake boats can be pretty heavy.
I mean, there's guys out here in Tennessee towing their horse trailers and their
going up to the Kentucky Derby.
I don't know what the fuck they do with horses.
You're closer to Kentucky than I am. Trent. Come on.
I mean, granted, yeah.
How much have you towed with your truck, Trent?
The most I've towed, and this is verified by a scale, was about 18,000 pounds with my truck.
Granted, I haven't measured. I didn't scale mine, but I was going off of pre-existing numbers. I have towed 19,500 to 20,000.
On what?
Not my Tacoma.
With what?
A skinny chick. Mike's skinny chick.
Well, that's a Dodge. You're comparing a Dodge to a Dodge.
Well, no, we're measuring dicks right now.
No, we're not.
Are we? Because I don't think we are.
No, we're not. You're comparing a Dodge to a Dodge, and you're comparing a Cummins to a Hemi, but it...
Yeah.
Anyway. I'll back down.
You're also talking to a fucking Mopar fanboy here. So
I mean, you are. I'm not even shameful about that.
I'll back down. I admit it. I'll back down.
Yeah. So Frontier.
Speaking about backing down.
Yeah. All the American F1 races are canceled.
Fuck AJ.
That's our racing news. Is Canada, Mexico, U.S., and Brazil all gone.
Because people don't want to put a fucking mask on.
Nobody wants one more thing that's not coming to the U.S.
Yeah. Just one more thing.
Me?
Anyway.
What? I'm so lost right now.
It's not just you, Zach. But it does
roll past it.
It does open the door for other races like Imola, which is Italy's third race this year. There's the camera. Nürburgring and Portugal are all getting races this year.
Nordschleife or just another track at the ring?
Just GP probably.
It's It's not going to be the full.
They're not doing the ring.
I don't care.
There is an entire GP circuit that is at the ring. So that's probably what they'll use.
Yeah, I don't care anymore.
It's still a good track.
If you're not putting F1
hey, Zach, go fuck yourself.
Hey, Trent, not Trent. God damn it.
Wait, what track is in Portugal?
Portimao.
Portimao is a good track.
Isn't Portimao the one that looks like a bong? Or that's a different one?
I do not know my drug paraphernalia and how they relate to tracks.
I believe that was the one in
Dubai. No, there was a track somewhere that looks like a penis or a bong, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah, the microscope.
Are you saying it's a gateway track?
Are we seriously going there now? Is this actually happening?
Are you gonna pull out drug
I always did that for you, Gavin, because you're 6 shots deep. So,
I mean, whether it looks like a penis or a bong, I mean, Utah's going to fight against it because it hates both those things.
But anyway, still more races.
How do you spell Portimao? How do you spell that?
Portimao.
IMAO. That's okay. Okay, I get that. Yep. Okay. I just wanted to find the track.
Yeah. While you're looking at the track, there's still more races in the works because this puts them at 13 confirmed races, and according to television contracts, they have to fulfill 8 or 15 races. But they may go up as many as 18, just depending on what they can get. They're talking to Dubai. They're talking to Malaysia. They're talking to Vietnam. Like they're talking about running a course there. So I mean, there's lots still out there, still in the works that they're trying to get going immediately, basically. So
for those of us that play Forza Motorsport, it appears to be the same track that Circuit de Catalunya that is on Forza. It appears to be the same track.
I believe it's on GT Sport as well.
Is it? Okay.
It looks familiar.
I wish I could get Street View from various angles, but it doesn't look like it's... Oh, maybe it is.
Catalunya is in Spain. So it's in Barcelona, but... Portimao is Portugal.
Okay, so the question here is...
so I'm sorry, this is different then. I'm clearly intoxicated.
Algarve International Circuit? I'm probably messing that up, but...
AJ, does it look like a penis? Was that right?
No.
Does not look like... If it does look like a penis, I am very sorry about that.
What?
Which track look like a microscope?
I don't
like
know.
In Monza? I don't know.
It's some track in Dubai, I think. I know you guys talked about it one time.
No, I am not typing that into my Google search history, all right?
Dubai doesn't look like a bong, does it?
Or maybe it was like Vietnam or...
It was a newer track. I thought it was South America.
Hold on. What is... There's a name. There's like a 2-word name that goes to the one that's in Dubai. Fucking what is it? Fucking Richard Hammond drove he drove a 918 on there, didn't he?
Yeah, no, I thought that was Abu Dhabi.
Hold on.
Yeah, I thought he drove it on Abu Dhabi.
Dubai racetrack. How about that? Dubai racetrack.
No, it was. Yeah, I think you're.
I'm just gonna look on maps to see what happens.
We should probably get close to ending this, though. It's 9:10.
You know what? Just for that, we're gonna go an extra 3 hours.
I'm gonna leave.
I'm down. I got the booze for it. I got the booze for it, and I got Uber Eats, so I'm good.
That's what I did. Uber Eats, R&R barbecue, bro.
Hell yeah.
Also,
Dubai Autodrome. Let's see what this is.
Gavin, we need to hang
Zachary.
out and talk cameras and cars.
Do we?
I like you.
The bromance is...
the bromance is real.
Yeah.
All right. Trent, do you want to do anything else before we cut this out? We are going
No, we should just probably park this thing because, we're over 2 hours now. And
park it, kill it, throw the parking brake, and just toss the keys.
Yep. We're gonna toss the keys in the bay, and we're gonna light this thing on fire, and hope the insurance pays out. So
do the Zippo throw.
Yep.
No,
exactly.
hey Trent, are we sure the Sky Dome isn't going to fall on us from the World's Fair? Simpsons reference when Bert Milhouse go to the World's Fair.
Yeah.
And the Sky Dome falls on the rental car.
I'm
trying to pander to you right now, and it's not working.
It's clearly not working.
You don't remember that episode?
I remember the episode. I don't see why it was slotted in at that point.
Yeah, because it's falling on the podcast, and we're the car.
Sorry. So back to our Dubai. I'm sorry. I've had some help recently. Derek messaged me and said Yas Marina.
Oh,
the track in Dubai.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Anyway,
thanks Trent for being here.
Yeah, I'm so sorry for everyone. Mike is so much better at this. Next week, AJ's running the show because
I won't even be there.
He's good at guiding things, and he's hilarious. So
honestly, I might not be on next week. I will be arriving in El Paso.
That's how I got Gavin here. As I said, Zach's not.
You don't have to out me like that.
You don't need to out
Brent. Jesus,
Gavin, and I thought we were bonding.
You thought, like, bitch, you thought.
Quick, he's gone. End it. Quick, Trent, he's gone. End it now. Just pull the plug. It'll be okay.
So the story about my grandparents I wanted to tell at the top of the episode.
So I want to thank Gavin. I want to thank AJ for being here. And
thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I always appreciate it for sure.
Yes, thank
always
you
a blast when I get to come on.
Do you want to shout anything out?
I want to shout out Gavin and AJ.
I was asking Gavin, do you want to shout anything out?
Well, shit. I mean, like, shout out the Exhibition of Speed YouTube channel. We actually are in pre-production right now for something that, well, I guess you all will hear it first, is something that might actually put us kind of on the map. It has to do with Audis, which I know Justin is very fluent in, but there is I'm not going to call it a feature film because I don't know how long it will be, but we will be doing various generations of a certain kind of engine, as it were, of Audis. So I will keep it.
Cough, 5-cylinder?
Possible. I'm not going to be promising anything.
You can neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. This guy gets it.
So, AJ, anything you want to shout out?
I mean, I'm not interesting enough, so just find me here. This is where I'm the most interesting.
AJ, it's been forever. I love you and I miss you. And
it was great seeing you.
It was cool to see everybody in person. I'm sad that Trent wasn't there, but yeah. It was
AJ, as always, it's been too long, and I can't wait for you to come back out here. And hopefully, if I put myself in a good enough position, I will be able to come out to see you.
When are you guys going to come up and do tail with me?
Dude, I would love to. If I could get some solid PTO with a different job.
Tail of the Dragon's I think it's a 2-hour drive away. It's right there.
That's fine. You also live forever away from us. So that means I can't road trip to Fiesta. Is basically.
I mean, we have airplanes. They're going to start getting cats on them, but we have airplanes.
That's a good joke. Good joke.
Yes. Can I shout out some things?
Before you do that, I will say, Zach, it was not you that made Gavin get on here. It was AJ. AJ.
Oh no, I was never going to deny that.
It absolutely was AJ. No, I was.
It was not. Zach's not going to be here, so I'll come on. It was. Oh, AJ's going to be there. I'm on. It's not a dig at you. It's just you don't matter.
I'm not as cool as AJ.
Trent, to be fair, it's your words, not mine.
Do I need to show him the messages?
Zach doesn't have to cry into his pillow.
You can do whatever the fuck you want. I'll give a shit.
I'm gonna cry tonight.
Anyway, Zach, what would you like to plug at this point?
I've been trying to plug this a lot more. My film Instagram that Gavin refuses to acknowledge. Zack Lord 35mm. I post daily film content for my
daily.
Daily, every single day. And then Utah Drive, as always. I am trying to put more content up there. It's just my little YouTube channel where I post videos of cool stuff.
Cool. Well, where can people find all of your social medias, AJ and Gavin, since you just plugged yours, Zach?
I'm just AJ Glassmacher on Facebook. My Instagram is _another_drummer. If you really want to see pictures of my car, my dog, and ramen, that's the place to find it.
Also, tell Amanda I say hello because
congratulations
thank you.
Yeah,
she
absolutely.
Poked herself in the background there a few times, so
she did.
Hello.
Yeah.
She did. The laundry room's back there, so
makes sense.
Give
Anyway,
Amanda my best.
I will.
Gavin, where do we find you on the socials?
Well, shit. Honestly, so I've been doing more actual photography related things on my gp.media account. Soon, actually, basically, as soon as I get done with this recording, I will be posting things of a modified R8 here in Salt Lake City. Yeah.
Some might say he's a star boy.
yeah. No, he is definitely a star boy. No, honestly, Angelo, the owner of that car, is a super cool dude. He's like in his early 20s, but he's also like a watch guy. He's a car guy. He's daily driven a 997 Carrera. And before that, he's like a big BMW guy. But he has a gated manual 4.2 R8, like a first gen, that I actually got to drive for like all of 10 minutes. Oh my God. So amazing. Another story for another episode. But gp.media on the Instagrams. I'm going more hard on the paint with that account, so feel free to follow me there. And that's all I have really for plugging things as of now. So
excellent.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all. Make sure to follow CAMautoMag on the social medias at CAMautoMag across the board. Make sure to subscribe, review this podcast. Reviews help big time. We strive for 5 stars, but we totally understand if you actually listen to this thing if it's not worth 5 stars. But you know what? We would like to have 5 stars. So let us know, mailbag at CAMautomag.com, if there's any way we can earn your 5 stars. And if you want to earn those 5 stars with your wallet and show that you appreciate us, CAMautoSwag.com. And make sure to also hit up our Patreon because, you know what, we will appreciate the support. We've been doing this for 10 years. At least Mike and I have been for 10 years. And you know what? Support helps keep this thing running. Not on all cylinders, obviously, but let's keep it going on at least half the cylinders. And then check out our longtime sponsor, Steady Broke. CAMauto 15 in the coupon code box gets you 15% off your entire order. And coming up soon, Twitch Thursdays, or something like that. Whatever Mike's calling it.
It's Tuesdays.
No, he's changing it to.
He's changing
it to Thursday because it lines up with a lot more people's schedules. So Twitch Thursday, sponsored by Mike Tyson.
Exactly.
Hey.
And then join us next week for when AJ just takes care of business on all this, and
no one else is around. Yeah.
And Zack probably will not be here, but Gavin is saying he will return.
I will, for sure.
I want to talk for a couple seconds about El Paso stuff. I want to try to make CAM content from El Paso. I'm going to try to go to as many car meets as I possibly can while I'm down there in the Vivid One truck.
I feel like that's an off-camera discussion.
Well, I want to make the people of the podcast aware of it.
Oh, okay.
So
well, look for Zach's El Paso content then.
If you're in
35
El Paso,
millimeter, is that what it is?
What?
Is it Zack 35 millimeter?
It's Zack Lord's 35 millimeter.
Zack Lord's 35 millimeter. Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, if you're in El Paso and you're listening to this 2 hours and 13 minutes deep,
please message me.
God bless you. If you're tuning into this podcast this far in, God bless you. Honestly.
Yes. Thank you. You must be.
OG.
Yeah, you must be Nick Trepesky or Chris Miller or Derek or whoever else has been in the chat today.
Yes.
Gentlemen, thank you for being here.
Yes. Much appreciated. But until next time, I have been Trent.
I've been Zach.
I've been AJ.
And I have been Gavin. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to wherever you find this podcast.
Solid outro. Solid.